This is Carl at National RV Detroit. I'm going to walk you through this 2018 Astoria fifth wheel. Alright, I'm on the door side of the trailer and I'm moving towards the rear. Let's see what we got here. We've got automatic stabilizers. So, let me find one for you here. Uh-oh, I lost them all. Oh, I just walked past it. Okay, so down here you have these automatic stabilizers. They're controlled by a control panel. I'll go more into that in a minute or two, but it'll automatically stabilize it, and then it'll automatically return you to the previous hitch height when you retract them. So it'll come close to getting you right where you were when you unhitched it, so you can just slide right in there, hopefully. So okay, all right. So also keep in mind this hose here on the refrigerator. This has to be hanging out like it is. Let me get a picture of it. I was cleaning things up here. This is a condensation hose for the refrigerator, so it should always be hanging out like that, so the condensation drains to the outside. You've got outside speakers, of course. You have a vent for your range hood. There's a baffle in there. You can sort of see the edge of it. Right now it's open, but we're still prepping it here. The idea is when you run the fan inside, the vent fan, always reach up here on the outside and free up the baffle so it flaps freely, so it'll vent properly. But when you're not using it, just keep the baffle shut. Okay? All right. So you got a power awning, of course, with LED strip, and we got a basement here. Let me see what we got. Okay, so you got a touch panel controller here. All right. What is this? Just lights here. You have the lights here. That on the other side there is where your leveling system is controlled. I'll show you when I get over there. You have 30-pound tanks, I believe. Yes, a 30-pounder here. Your battery is in here. Okay. You have another 30-pounder here. They're both filled. Okay. And then over here, like I stated, in the basement here, you have the controller. Now, you turn it on, obviously, and it's telling you everything is set and ready to go. You can push auto level, and it's just going to level it. Okay. You can do some different. You can push retract to retract them. But if you see this little LED display, I don't know if you can see it on camera, but I'll describe what's happening. To drop the front jacks, you enter to begin it. Auto reconnect, which is basically hitch height. You go to manual mode to set them all manually. Okay, so on and so forth. So keep in mind, this likes to have a fully charged battery. It's very important that it has at least 12 volts, 13.4, whatever is best, but at least 12 volts, or it'll tend to tell you that it needs more voltage. So make sure your battery is always charged, which it should be. Obviously your tow vehicle charges it, and so does your power converter. So okay, so keep in mind that this is very simple, but it takes a while to level it. It'll go through corrections, and it'll be telling you on the screen what it's doing. If it's, you know, the rear left rear, right rear, it's analyzing things like that. It'll always be telling you that. So let me turn this back off and put it where it goes. Okay, so that's how that works. There's also directions, which are obviously help. Okay, this is your water station here. So let's see what we've got here. You have your city water connection here, which is the most common way to get water to the trailer, of course. You're just going to hook your hose up there, and it's ready to go. Now, to bypass your water heater when you're winterizing, if I assume you've owned trailers before, but if you haven't, you have to bypass the water heater before you pump any antifreeze into the system, because you can't get antifreeze into the water heater tank and leave a foul taste and a bad smell that won't go away. So normally you have to go behind the water heater, but right here you have your bypass valve right here. So when you want to bypass it, you just put it in this upright position. Okay, this is just as far as sprayer goes. It's a coiled sprayer with a hose. This is a black tank flush here. So after you dump your tanks, let me show you right here. You have two gray tanks in this one, right, and a black tank. So this valve here is for your black tank. This is a gray tank 1, gray tank 2. So I don't know if there's any water in here. I want to be careful. So it is empty. So all right, let me put them into closed position so you can see. So what you're going to do is you hook your hose onto here. The other end goes in the dump station, of course. Then you're going to dump your black tank first by going like that. The reason you do it first because the black tank is toilet water and waste. So you dump that through the hose, and then you use the gray tank water, which is sink and shower water, and it's just cleaner dirty water than the black water, so you would just continue to dump it to rinse the hose out. But after that, you leave this open, this valve open, the black valve. Then you can come up here and hook your hose up to here, which is your black tank flush. Leaving the valve open, that's important. You turn on the water and it'll spray out the inside of your black tank, so it's nice and clean. It cleans off your sensor so you get a good accurate reading on your monitor panel, so it's a good thing to do, okay? Your water heater, the controls to operate it are inside, but I'll show you that. This is the drain plug right here, so that's where you drain it. This is a pressure release valve here. Never release the pressure valve or pull the drain plug when you have hot water in the tank. I know that's obvious, but apparently to some people it's not, so you can scald yourself obviously or worse, so you always let it cool down before you drain it. Also, before you pull this plug out, you want to let the pressure out, just so the water doesn't come shooting out of there like a water cannon and get you drenched. So, but the valves to operate it are inside. Just remember, don't vent it or drain it until it's cooled down. Okay, and here we go. You got a 50 amp cord, 30 feet long, so it's a 50 amp system. Now I showed you that where the city water hookup was, right? That's the most common way you're going to get water to the trailer. But if you happen to go to a campground that does not have plumbing on the campsites, you can pre-fill your freshwater tank, your onboard freshwater tank right here, and then you can use the pump to pump the water. So it operates just like you have city water, even though you're carrying the water with you. So that's a really good feature. They're independent of each other. If you're using one, you don't have to even think about the other. But this is in case you don't have plumbing on the campsite. All right, you have a ladder so you can inspect your roof regularly. You have to go up there every 90 days or 3 times a season. So spring, middle of summer, fall, you go up or have somebody go on the roof and check all the seals, make sure everything is tight, no cracks or separation. When you see that happening, like all trailers do eventually, you want to get that taken care of. You just touch it up, clean it and touch it up. You don't have to do the entire roof, obviously. This housing tells us this is pre-wired for a backup camera. So if you want to get a backup camera, make sure it's a Furrion that fits in that housing. Also, we sell them here, but you can wherever you buy that, make sure you get the one that fits in that housing, okay? Alrighty. So let's go inside. Okay. I'm distracted as usual. I'm sorry. I gotta learn to focus. I guess if I haven't learned to focus this late in life, I guess. Okay, so let me see what this one has here. This is generally 3 zeros or 4 zeros, so right there. Your passcode until you change it is all zeros. Okay, so you can turn your water pump on from here. Your water heater. Never turn on your water heater on gas or electric unless you have water in the tank. You always check and make sure that you have water in the water heater tank before turning on any energy source, or you can damage it. It's not a warranty issue. It would be user error, so make sure you do that. All the interior lights right there, or individually. Let me see if we're at a place to scroll. Your wardrobe slide out is right here, in and out. Sofa slide out, in and out. Kitchen slide in and out, and your awning in and out. So it's all power. Just remember, with the awning, you never leave it out unattended. You're always gonna, if you leave the campsite, you roll it in so the wind doesn't damage it. The wind can come up pretty darn quick and damage it in just an instant. So make sure you roll that awning in if you're not going to be at the campsite. And of course, with the slide outs, you have to make sure there's nothing in the way on the inside or the outside of the trailer. That's the most important thing, so you don't squish something. Okay, so that's it. Basically, you can turn pages this way. This is where you check your levels. Your fresh water's empty. Your black water's empty. Gray 1 and gray 2 are both empty. Your battery's at 12.3 volts. Okay, so you're in good shape. Okay. Now this is for a power vent for your fan. You have a max air fan here somewhere. Let me look around to see if I can find the darn thing. Hold on. Oh, there it is, way over there. So back here in the living area, you have a max air fan. It has a power vent on it, and everything is, or I should say, power and remote controlled vent cover, and the same with the speed. So you're just going to push it. You can see it opening up, and it just turn it on. Okay, and so you can set the speed and all that. These fans are really good for pulling the air out when it's not quite you know, it's not warm enough for air conditioning, or it's early in the morning and you don't want to run the air conditioning, you can just turn that on, open the windows, and turn that on, you know, high or medium speed, whatever, and it does an excellent job of drawing the cool air in. Okay, so that's right here. You got a smoke detector and a carbon monoxide detector up there. Okay, now your thermostat, you just hit the mode button to light it up, then you scroll through. That's fan, air conditioner, furnace, and off. Now there's about a 6-second lag time every time you select something, so when you push the air conditioning button, it's going to be a 5-6 second delay before anything happens, so that's normal. Also, the fan is just the air conditioner running without the compressor, so it just circulates air. It's not used a whole lot. And try always to stay with auto. Like, say, this is on auto. You can change it to low, high, whatever, but put it on auto. That's important. And keep your air conditioner on auto. It's the way to do it. If you leave the fan on high, for example, and you try to run the furnace, it's going to turn that fan on in the air conditioner. So you won't. But if you put it on auto, it won't do that. So that's important. All right. So I'm going to just go back to off. Okay. All right, let's see what we got here. Nice sized pantry, excellent pantry. You can never have too much storage. You got theater seating, of course. You have let's see what we got here. This is a 3-panel foam hide-a-bed. So basically you pull the backs off and set them aside. Then you're going to grab it down here and pull it out, fold down the legs, and then drop the back into place, and that's that simple. It just takes a minute to do, and it's not bad as hide-a-beds go. It's really not bad. Okay, your fireplace, you can use in the remote or the switch here. You can change the appearance of the fire. You can put the fan on high and low and off if you're using it as a space heater. You can set the temperature, and has a timer on it, so it does all those things. So the thing is, you know, we're talking about early in the morning or late at night or on a day that's slightly cool. You don't have to use up your LP because you have a limited supply. You can just use 110 AC from the campground and heat this whole area with this. It works really well. Your sound, you have a disc player here, of course, for CDs and DVDs. It's got an HDMI on it. You can stream off this USB here. You can stream wirelessly with Bluetooth from your phone or tablet. And you can set the zones. You have different speaker zones. In this one, let's see, it's either 2 or 3 of them. Let's see. Oh, wait a minute, I gotta turn it on here. Okay, now here comes the IQ test. If I can find the button to turn it on. Uh-oh, I'm flunking. I'm gonna be flunked. Well, heck. There we go. Okay.
All right.
So I can go dress up as a Karen and go get some.
So A, B, and C you have. So 3 zones. A is this.
Bearded Karen.
A is this room here. B is the bedroom, and C is outside. So you got 3 different speaker zones. Of course, the TV works like any other TV, and the disc player obviously is patched to it. All right. You have a swing-out bracket here that locks into place. So. Keep that in mind. You can tilt it whichever way you want. Your refrigerator is a gas absorption refrigerator, so it'll run on 110 AC or LP gas. So that's done here. You turn it on right here. Okay. Then you select auto right there. Auto means electric. The reason they call it auto is because it always seeks out electricity first. Electricity takes parameters, so it looks for electricity. If it can't find it, it'll automatically switch to gas. Or better yet, if it's super hot outside and you leave the campsite early in the morning to go exploring for the day. Hour later, your campground loses power. It'll sense that and it'll automatically switch over to gas for you, so you don't spoil the food. So it's good to leave it on auto. You can run it dedicated on gas right there, but we lost a button here. We'll fix that for you. Sorry about that. Well, it's good I found it now anyway. So anyway, that'll be fixed by the time you get here. So you want to run it on auto whenever you can, but if you want to dedicate it to gas, you can do it just like I did it, but the button won't fall off. So let me pick this up here. Well, that wasn't awkward at all, so that's good. Smooth. I always like a smooth walkthrough. Okay, so your air conditioner, your microwave works like any other microwave. Your fan, I showed you the vent outside and told you about opening the baffle. So you just turn it on and it vents. Obviously you have a light. Your range, I don't know if the gas is on or not, I'll see here. Either way, I'll talk you through it. So basically, you're going to turn the flame on right here. I can hear it. And then you spark it just like that. It lights. So you turn the sparker clockwise to light it. Okay, and then of course you can do that for each burner. Now the oven is a little different. The oven you have to light with a lighter. So there's a pilot light back here, all the way to the bottom on the back. So what you do is you put this to pilot, you press it down, you take your grill lighter and you light the pilot light there. After it lights, you're still holding this in, you're still depressing it, so you get to press for another 10 or 15 seconds till it heats up. You go to operating temperature, and it cycles like an oven does, but when you shut it off, the flame goes out obviously, but so does the pilot light, so you have to relight the pilot light each time. Alright, so somewhere in here is a power converter. Here it is over here. So this is the power converter here. This converts 110 AC to 12 volt DC. So you see you got regular 110 AC circuit breakers here. And then the power is converted to 12 volt DC here. You got regular 12 volt fuses. So 110 circuit breakers just like you have at home and they're labeled. Then 12 volt fuses here and they're labeled. If any of these fuses were to blow, you'll actually see it glowing through this tinted plastic here. And so you know a fuse blow. Also, if you're plugged into short power, this is a battery tender, so it'll always keep sending 12 volts up to the battery and keep it totally charged up front, okay? All right. Let me get on my feet here. This device here is the carbon monoxide detector. So that detects your carbon monoxide. It should always be green like it is, or if not, get it serviced. If it goes off, take everybody outside, shut the gas off at the front, leave the door open, and figure out what's going on, okay? And like I said before, your smoke detector and carbon monoxide is up there. Alright, so let's go this way. Alright, so the bathroom. The sink and the shower work like any other sink and shower. There's nothing unique about them. The toilet, the thing you have to know about an RV toilet if you haven't owned or used one before, this is the flush pedal. Okay, so you pulled in the campground, you hook up your water and your power, you come inside. Your black tank is completely empty. So to start off using an RV toilet, you have to put chemical in. So whatever chemical you use, whatever brand, you put one dose right there. Then you step on the pedal, flush it down, but you hold it for a minute or so till you put about a gallon of water in the tank. There's no way to tell exactly what a gallon of water is, so you're just going to use common sense and put some water in there. The bottom line is, whenever you're starting off with a dry black tank, you have to put chemical and water in there. If not, you'll regret it, because the smell is terrible, and plus it'll harden, and you have to actually use dynamite. You have to throw a hand grenade down there to loosen it up. So, but seriously, you literally have to chip it loose if you let it go that far. So always use water and chemical in the toilet is the bottom line. Okay. So bedroom, you have your TV hookups here, of course, and a backing plate right there. If you can see it. I know I'm up close and it's kind of hard to see, so I'm aware of that, but I don't have a wide angle lens on this thing, so I'm limited to what I can do. This is pre-wired for an air conditioner. That's why you have a 50 amp service. So if you wanted to drop in an air conditioner here, it goes right in the vent here. It'll fit right in there. For this one, you would get the one with the ceiling control with the knobs on it. So you get a ceiling assembly for a non-ducted unit would go with it, and you can just turn it on and off and cool this area separately. So that's why you have the 50 amp cord, so you can, and the pre-wiring, so you can take care of that, okay? Other than that, everything else is self-evident, like any place or any other trailer. So let me look around and see if I forgot anything, other than I broke the refrigerator. Yeah, that's good. You're going to want to tie the inner leg of your chairs all around the post, so you have the chairs drawn in, not to keep them from moving, but you don't want them to fly around. If you hit a wild bump, you don't want them to fly up and break a window or something, so you just restrain them a little bit. Okay? Alright, I think I've covered everything here. Thanks for purchasing your trailer here at National RV Detroit. Remember what I said about inspecting the roof. That's very, very important. And also, remember you have to bypass your water heater before you winterize it. That's very important. And the most important thing is use it a lot and have a lot of fun with it. Thank you very much.